episode of Opus Culinarius. Today we are going to do literal magic in the kitchen. Yes, magic. We're going to make a raw cheesecake, and what will emerge will simply overwhelm you. So we're going to start off our recipe by taking 3 cups of cashew nuts. Wonderful cashew nuts, which are filled with proteins and all sorts of yummy goodness. And we're just going to soak them for about half an hour, at least a half an hour. You can soak them overnight. In fact, the longer you soak them, the softer the cashews will become, and the easier you'll be able to blend them up into a wonderfully creamy paste. So just take enough water to just barely cover the nuts, and as I said, soak them for at least 30 minutes and put them aside. Make sure to use filtered water for this process. You don't want to use tap water at all. And just let this sit until your cashews are nicely soaked. Now, once your cashews are soaked, you are going to add them into your blender and add in 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice. So we're just going to squeeze, in my case, about. And then we're going to add this to the cashews and put it in the blender. And now we're going to add about 3/4 of a cup of agave syrup. Ooh. And now once you've blended it up for a while, I took about 5 minutes to blend this up, and this is the consistency that you have. I don't know if you could see this from here. We're just going to add in a bit of salt, just a pinch of salt. That will just sort of bring out the lemon flavor a bit, and then blend it again. So now we're going to pour in about 3/4 cup of coconut oil. Give it a last mix. And this is essentially our basic cheesecake filling. So you could see that it's thick, it's smooth, and it's pourable. There we go. Now, the filling in itself is absolutely scrumptious. I'm just going to create a bit of variety, and I'm going to take out about 1/4 of the filling. And to that, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of berries. Now, I love little raspberries, so I'm going to add 1/2 cup of raspberries into the blender. Oops, plop. So now that my raspberries are in, I'm just going to blend it. Now we're just going to pour our fruit filling into a bowl. Now the base of our cheesecake is going to be blended up raw almonds with some date puree and a bit of salt. And I'm going to show you how right now. So and just pour the blended up almonds into a bowl. Last but not least, I'm going to make the date puree by adding about slightly less than 1/4 cup of dates. That is the butter. And a couple teaspoons of water to soften it up. And then I'm just going to blend it until I have a nice puree. And now we're just going to add a dash of salt to our ground almonds, and then we're going to mix in our date puree. So we have a sort of a moist consistency, and all of our almonds are nicely mixed in. lined my baking tin with just a little bit of saran wrap, plastic wrap. And I'm gonna add our base, our almond and date base. And we're just gonna press it and line our baking. Okay, and now we're ready for the final stage. I think I'm going to start off by pouring some of the white lemon filling at the bottom. Spread that. And then we're going to add a bit of color by pouring in the raspberry. Put this in the freezer for an hour, and then thereafter into the refrigerator for about 2 hours. And then we're ready to eat this lusciousness.